Hello. Today we just focus on this conversation. What do I need to know when it comes to legal issues as a musician? We've got musicians who've entered into contracts, into collabos, and they've later on regretted of why they did that. We have Minister Kibogo who is just going to expound on this as he helps us to know what exactly do I need to know when it comes to legal issues as a musician.
Great. Thank you, Ben, for the question. I want to start by saying that in every arrangement that entails two people coming together, there are sets of promises that people exchange, right?
Yeah.
In the simplest terms, we call them promises. And these promises then lead to agreements.
Yeah.
All right? And in these agreements, there is what you call as exchange of rights or benefits, and there is exchange of obligations. All right? And so you'll have Erick and Ben get into an agreement that Erick promises to do A, B, C, D for Ben, and Ben in turn promises to do A, B, C, D for Erick.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This kind of agreement may not find remedy, or the law may not come into these agreements unless it's provided for. All right? And so we talk about enforceable agreements and non-enforceable agreements.
Yeah.
So what people do is whenever you get into a kind of arrangement that has got obligations and rights, then you get into to sign what you can term as contracts. All right? And this contract, many times, most of the rights and obligations are expressly provided for in the contracts.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Erick, in this agreement, you are to do A, B, C, D, and you cannot do A, B, C, D. For example, it can be provided for that for a given period of time, you may not be able to, you are required actually not to do A, B, C, D. It can be not required to co-lead a song that's going to be produced, or even to do your own albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a given set of time. All right?
Yeah.
And then yourself, you've given terms on the other end that for me to accept this amount of detriment, we call it a detriment in law because it's something that limits your usual rights. So for this limitation of my rights, then this is what I will stand to benefit in this kind of arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And most of the times, these terms are expressed, as in they are provided for in the contract, in the contractual agreement.
Yeah.
Though by custom or tradition, the law provides for instances where some terms can be read into your agreement. All right? You do not agree on them
In the beginning.
Ordinarily,
Yeah.
it can be somebody who is what you can call as an objective bystander,
Yeah.
or somebody who can be, not you, but somebody else who can be put in the same situation, can say these terms are applicable in this kind of agreements. All right? So what I think we need to understand as musicians is that the law provides for, it provides protection for both you, the one who is entering into a contract, and the other party. Say that you don't arbitrarily violate the terms of your engagement without a punishment, neither should the other party violate your rights without the law providing for remedies. A remedy, or what you can call as a solution to your legal injuries. what I can tell my fellow ministers, whenever you are entering into this kind of arrangements,
Yeah.
is that you be able to try the much you can to understand what you're signing,
Before you sign.
on the dots for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think most of us Africans, me included, we're not so much into the details.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
basically
yeah.
say, I trust you. I trust your judgment. I trust the terms you provided for. Just
Yeah.
show me where to do it, where to sign.
Where to sign.
And there is this loose statement that is always around, that the devil is in the details. All right? So there are those small prints that you need to be aware of. And those are many times what provides for restrictions. Those are the terms that provide for points of your liabilities.
Yeah.
They need to be very keen to zoom into and see where are my restrictions.
Yeah.
Are these
Yeah.
terms tenable in this kind of arrangements?
Yeah.
Does it really make sense for me to sign on the dots? Because many times as ministers and music ministers, as much as you pressured financially,
Yeah. Yeah.
not all the time you should sign on the dots.
Yeah.
Be sober, read the terms, understand the terms of your engagement before you sign on the dots. The law, once you've signed on the dots, it basically means you read, you
understood,
you agreed to the terms, and you assented. So if there's an injustice, but that is reasonably within the terms that you signed for, the law can stand a mile away from protecting your interest. That is how it goes.
Oh, because I think, there's a lot of contracts when it comes to, for example, in a setup here in Kenya, we have the Skiza tunes. We have all those type of monetization that requires contracts. And we've got musicians that probably they're not lawyers.
Correct.
Or they've got basic knowledge and understanding of some terms. And like I have a friend, actually, he did a song and he didn't know that will be a big song. So what really happened was there's some brokerage company that came with very huge kibunda of money. And they told him, hey, for the next 4 years, we're going to own the rights of this song. So if you're just a layman, what are these areas that I can call them, for lack of a better word, what are the most critical or the dangerous areas that you need to look into before you put your hand to sign a document?
Correct. Basically, what you need to look out for in a contract are what you can call as the terms that are very fundamental. All right.
Yeah.
The terms that are very fundamental. And you've said a very good thing about when it comes to giving out your rights.
Yes.
Right. When somebody comes and tells you, "We'll give you this amount of money."
Yeah.
And we'll take up the rights of your content. Right?
Yes. Yes.
The most critical question that you need to ask this other part is, what does taking up my rights of this, what does it entail? So that you're able to understand, does it entail me surrendering my rights to perform? All right? Does it entail surrendering my right to Skiza only? Or does it extend to YouTube?
Yeah,
or does it extend even to the distribution of my content?
Yeah.
Because I've had some crazy stories about people signing contracts that have what we call as restrictive contracts that then tells you no production of music in the next 5 years or the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So essentially, everything in a contract is critical for you to get it right, understand, where you have a question mark about a given term of a contract, before signing the contract, you have a window period for renegotiation of the terms.
Yeah.
All right? Or even requesting that the statement as structured, the term as structured, be tampered with to give a context that does not limit your rights
To a
beyond
certain level.
reasonable levels.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you read a term and you know this is an injustice and you still sign on the dots because you've seen the bundle of money, then your hands are tied. The law is not able to protect you beyond some levels of agreements.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Erick Kibogo,
Most welcome.
for your wisdom on these legal issues. I know this is a conversation that has just begun.
Exactly. And something else,
And-
before you close, and you've said it, it doesn't require that you be a lawyer, really.
Yeah.
It requires that you read. And if you can't read and you find the contract a bit beyond your level of understanding or to comprehend fully, you have a lawyer friend somewhere, or you have a friend whom you can seek some guidance. Two heads are better than one.
Sure.
Get a friend,
Sure.
try to read about this and try to see if there is an area that needs to be relooked at before you sign on the
Sure.
case.
Na pia kama uelewi Kizungu, tafuta mtu anajua Kizungu akusaidie. Actually, I think we really mess ourselves up because we want to prove a point. And especially when money is involved, mtu anatakaga kule pesa peke yake.
Exactly.
Bila watu kujua.
Mtu asijue uko na pesa.
And that's how we find ourselves in a mess.
Correct.
Yeah, so I really appreciate for the wisdom. This is actually a conversation that we've begun. We will be bringing in more lawyers to just guide us and help us on this topic. And we will have also some musicians come to share their story. What did they do wrong? And
The lessons
the lessons they learned. So please write to us. You can just write a comment there. Tell us your experience. We will be glad to hear what are some of these conversations that you like us to ask our lawyers and the guests that will be coming next concerning these legal issues. I believe you've enjoyed the show. God bless you so much. See you in our next podcast.